Pete, I got to ask you, some artists really rely on their charisma and energy, while others, particularly comedians, they're able to share the most embarrassing moments and heartbreaking pieces of themselves with an audience. You have that rare gift to share, whether it's on SNL or as a dramatic actor. How does it feel to tell parts of your own real life story and for everybody to see?
It was really freeing and very healing. This is a story I've always wanted to tell, and I always wanted to show, my side of things. And I think, and I thank Judd for allowing me to do that. And what it allowed me to do is, heal personally in my own life. And I made this, so that I could move on and, become a better person and, maybe that chapter of my life won't weigh so heavy on me. So that was really the main goal of the film for me.
Now, Judd, quick question for you. What was the compelling hook that wanted you to adapt Pete's story the way that you did?
I think that I was interested in the idea of sacrifice. For some reason, that word kept coming in my head for a few years, that I wanted to write about sacrifice. I think because I thought, what would I never write about? What do people think I don't think about? And I did research on a bunch of different topics, but when I started talking to Pete, I thought, oh, I've been somehow mentally preparing for this,
right?
For several years, to write about, his family, and the sacrifice his father made for other people and heroes, and his mom was an emergency room nurse his entire childhood, and that's what was most interesting about this story. And of course, we've all had grief, and we all struggled to get through it and heal, and that's something that I've been through, and I thought this was a good way for me to also express my feelings about it.
Now, at the beginning of the movie, when it opens, Scott's driving down the highway with his eyes closed and causes a multiple car collision. What's going on in that character's mind in that moment, opposed to when we find him in the final shot where he's walking on his own 2 feet?
I think in that moment, in the beginning, he's more, depressed, and he doesn't really see a way out of it.
Right.
And I think he's doing that because because he wants, if it's a chance thing. Like if he closes his eyes for X amount of time and he opens them and he's still alive, then he deserves to be there, which is a really backwards way of thinking things. But I think when you're in a position like that, sometimes that's how you feel.
Sure.
And then at the end, I think when he's looking up at the Manhattan skyline, I think for the first time he sees a glimpse of hope. And I think that, he sees that the world is a lot bigger than his, and that, there are many opportunities out there for him to take.
Now, that car crash, Ray not pressing charges for tattooing his kid, not getting caught with the robbery with his friends, despite all the tough situations he puts himself in, Scott has proven to be extraordinarily lucky. What separates him from everyone else?
Yeah. No, Judd, you could do that one.
I think we tried to portray him as a special person who was damaged. So Belle Pauly's character, Kelsey, who is his friend that he's considering having a relationship with, we always said she sees the beauty in him, she sees the potential in him, and even though he's really struggling, she's trying to hang in there because she thinks that it'll be worth it if he can get it together and learn to believe in himself and heal himself. And I think that's how we looked at the character.